O come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel, that mourns in lonely exile near, until the Son of God appear. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to you, O Israel.
Known for is his second coming in glory, and then the in-between times, which is now, is that reason. So today, from today till the 17th of December, we will remembering and preparing ourselves for his coming in the daily lives of ours. 17th December onwards, it will be immediate preparation for Christmas. The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew.
Glory to you, O Lord.
Jesus said to his disciples, "As were the days of Noah, so will there be the coming of the Son of Man. For as in those days before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day when Noah entered the ark. And they did not know until the flood came and swept them all away. So will be the coming of the Son of Man. Then 2 men will be in the field, one is taken and the one is left. 2 women will be grinding at the mill, one is taken and one is left. Watch therefore, for you do not know on what day your Lord is coming. But know this, that if the householder had known in what part of the night the thief is coming, he would have watched and would not have let his house be broken into. Therefore, you also must be ready, for the Son of Man is coming at an hour you do not expect." This is the gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Dear brothers and sisters, today's readings present before us 2 different scenarios. The second reading gives these 2 scenarios as a simple contrast between light and darkness. But the gospel reading and the first reading, we use it as a contrast between the time of Noah and the time it is to come, which in the Isaiah's vision of the heavenly Jerusalem. Let's spend a few moments with the time of Noah, the gospel reading. There we see Noah was asked to make the ark. He was listening to God's voice, and accordingly he built the ark. Others probably mocked at him for doing this, because there was no sign of any rain or flood. But then, following God's command, he did that. Until the day when the flood came, we are told, then they were all taken aback, surprised, and that was the beginning, that was their end. So that was the contrast between Noah and the others. And then Jesus draws a contrast. He says, 2 men will be there working in the field, one will be taken, other will be left. 2 women will be grinding, one will be taken, other will be left. Seems pretty whimsical of God to do that. They are doing the same thing, but one is taken, the other one is taken, left. The point is not that. The point is, even while doing the same thing, either plowing the field or grinding the mill, their orientations are different. And this difference of orientation is what we see. With what orientation they do that. that we see in the second reading, where it says, if we are already in the light, let's therefore conduct ourselves accordingly, not in reveling and drunkenness, not in debauchery and licentiousness, not in quarreling and jealousy, but it says to put on Jesus Christ. The same things that are done in our lives can have completely different orientation, not just by doing that afterwards, or afterwards in other times. Our orientation to life, is it towards God or just doing it? Our whatever be our work, our studies, or is it, what is it oriented to? And this is what we find in the Ignatian contemplation in action. The same action can become a contemplation of God, or it can become something which is just as it is, which has nothing to do with God, where we are self-sufficient. And this is, we find that the difference of orientation in the contemplation in action, and this is what orientation towards God, if we have, we can be doing the same thing, but it will have a completely different meaning. And this takes us to the first reading. First reading where Isaiah sees this vision of the heavenly Jerusalem, where we are told, of course, it's high above, and then people from all over flocking to this heavenly Jerusalem. That people from everywhere are coming in, and then we are told, all the nations shall flow into it, and many people shall come and say, come, let's go to the mountain of the Lord. So they are happy to be going there. And there are two things which happen there. The first is that God instructs them, that He may teach us His ways. That instruction of the Lord, which is happening there, instructing and leading their lives. Presently, what we in the contemplation in action, presently what we see only in shadows. That time it becomes more than shadow, it becomes reality of living in the divine presence and living accordingly. The second thing that we see there is as a result of when you allow God to be the master, when you allow God to be to control your lives. And then what happens is what we see there. He shall decide for many peoples, and then it goes on to say, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nations shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. When God becomes center, so first, during Noah's time, the first scenario, where some people for whom God is the orientation. Here, everyone who flocks to the New Jerusalem, for them, God is the reality. And He then controls their lives. And then we have this peace that is lasting, the lasting peace, where you know there is no more need for war. And today, as we prepare on this first day of Advent, we bring ourselves, surrender ourselves again to the divine hand that guides our lives, and promise that all that we undertake in our daily lives be oriented to God, oriented to doing His will.